Okay, so revision session number 2. This one is going to be on the language exam, and in particular I want to focus on question 2. How does the headline link with the image? You're always going to get something like that. How does the headline link with the image? How does the text link with the image? Something along those lines. And so what I've got to show you today is some LP covers, some record covers. Now, the first one I want to show you is this one. So it's Joni Mitchell's album, which is just called Blue, as in the colour. Now, when we have a look at it, there's not very much to go on at all. We've got Joni Mitchell here, we've got an image of her face, and then this very, very dark blue background. The thing about this is, it's a very, very clever album cover, because the actual album itself is all about her relationships, and in particular a relationship that's broken down. Now, an old-fashioned phrase for feeling depressed or low was blue, so the fact that she called it her Blue album after this breakdown in the relationship is very, very significant. Now, the key word for today is connotations. And I'm going to be cheeky here and give you 3. So, connotations are things that make you think of other things, effectively. So, if you look at, for example, a red sign on the road, which has a triangular, it's probably going to be a warning sign. So, a red triangle has connotations of danger or hazard, perhaps. Another example, if you hear certain types of music, they are going to have connotations of, again, well, let's use the same sort of theme, danger or threat or anger. So instantly, you hear da-da, da-da, da-da-da-da-da, you think, oh, Jaws, so something's come to get you. So there's that one. Now, if there is something which gives out connotations, you don't say this connotations something, or you say this connotes. So if we go back to this album cover, Joni Mitchell's Blue album has connotations of sort of sadness and those emotions, but you can say it connotes sadness. It connotes possibly a relationship that's gone wrong, that's gone awry. So there you have it. Now also, I'm going to talk to you about this word here, evokes. If something evokes something, it makes you think of it again. It almost brings it to life. Now, I'm going to show you another album. This is the Black Keys' very first album, The Big Come Up. And if we have a look at it, it looks old. It looks quite vintage. I mean, this is quite old. We're going back 40 years. But this one was actually made last year. And the interesting thing is, it's been made to look like it's old, like it's vintage. There are worn marks around the edge there. It's a black and white image, and black and white photography perhaps evokes a past time, has connotations of past times as well. The font here is quite stark. It looks as if it could have been sort of stuck on there or created. So again, that's sort of got a fairly vintage feel to it as well. So evokes. If something evokes certain things, it brings them to life, makes you think of them. So let me see if I can give you another example. This is a fantastic album, Bob Marley and the Wailers' Survival, and I'm just going to show you more closely here. We've got several images on the album cover. Now, the title is Survival, but if you notice in the background here, there's the layout of an old slave ship, so a ship that transported slaves or people who were enslaved from Africa to Europe. And the whole point of this album is a celebration of African culture, and more specifically the idea that you have to fight for your identity, you stand up for your identity. So we've got a very, very emotive political sort of image here. What's more, we have all of the flags of the nations of Africa, the different areas in Africa, the different countries in Africa when this album was made. So this evokes all sorts of ideas of politics, nationality, nationhood, patriotism, and also because of this image here, this very unpleasant image of the slave ship, there's this idea of a legacy of slavery, of past times. So just a practical example of 3 different things. Now, on question 2, they are going to ask you certain things. For example, as I said before, how does the headline link with the image? And you have to comment on the link that there is between that. The 3 most important things you can think of with this question are, what is the purpose? So what is this particular text trying to do? What is the audience of that text as well? So who's it aimed at? Is it just a general sort of audience, or are they particularly targeting people? For example, you could have a toy advert for Thomas the Tank Engine with bright colours and loud music. It's going to be for children, and possibly for parents who are going to buy their children the Thomas the Tank Engine toy. However, if you have a L'Oreal advert for anti-aging cream, or show my ignorance now as a bloke, I'm not quite sure, moisturiser, anything of that ilk, you're going to be aiming for ladies who are going to buy these products, these beauty products. So look at the audience. And the third is, what is the form? So what form does the text take? Is it a poster? Is it a leaflet? Are you looking at a poem? Are you looking at a letter? So always look at purpose, audience and form. Those are very important. Keywords. Are there any connotations? Do they make you feel a certain way or make you think of things? What do they connote? If we go back again, Bob Marley and the Wailers album connotes ideas of slavery and nationality and patriotism and identity and all those things. And finally, what do they evoke? What is brought to life by these ideas? What are they trying to get at? Okay, so that's question 2. Thank you.